Have you ever wondered what goes into making the computer chips that power our digital world? Well, let me introduce you to a formula that has been at the heart of Intel's success for over half a century. It's not E equals mc squared or F equals ma, but it has been just as revolutionary in its impact on the technology industry. I'm talking about Moore's Law, the equation that has driven the relentless march of progress in the world of computer chips. The first story. Did you know that Intel's name was not always Intel? In fact, the company's original name was INM Electronics. However, when co-founders Bob Noyce and Gordon Moore realized that another company had a similar name, they decided to change it to Integrating Electronics, which was shortened to Intel. It's interesting to think about how such a small decision, like choosing a name for a company, can have a big impact on its success. In this case, Intel's new name helped to differentiate it from other companies in the same industry and establish its unique identity. And now, when we hear the name Intel, we immediately think of the world-famous technology company that has been at the forefront of innovation for decades. Intel's first product. Did you know that Intel's first product was not a processor, but rather a type of memory chip called SRAM? SRAM stands for Static Random Access Memory, and it is a type of integrated circuit that is used to store and retrieve data. At the time of Intel's founding in 1968, the market for memory chips was dominated by Japanese companies, and the US was struggling to compete. But Intel's founders, including Gordon Moore and Bob Noyce, saw an opportunity to innovate in the memory chip market. They focused on developing a new type of memory chip that was more efficient and reliable than the ones currently on the market. The result was the 1103 SRAM chip, which was released in 1970 and quickly became a huge success. The 1103 SRAM chip was groundbreaking in a number of ways. It was faster and more reliable than other memory chips at the time, and it used less power, making it a more efficient choice for computers. It also had a smaller form factor, which meant that more memory could be packed into a smaller space. These advantages made the 1103 SRAM chip a popular choice for early computer systems, and it quickly became a staple of the industry. Today, SRAM remains an important component of computer chips, and Intel continues to be a major player in the semiconductor industry. It's amazing to think that a small memory chip developed by a group of engineers in the late 1960s could have such a huge impact on the world of computing and technology. The rivalry between Intel and AMD. For decades, Intel and AMD have been two of the biggest players in the semiconductor industry, and their competition has been fierce. It all began in the 1980s, when AMD began producing clones of Intel's processors, which were cheaper and often just as good as the original. This put pressure on Intel to innovate and keep its prices competitive. The rivalry between Intel and AMD continued into the 1990s, when AMD began producing its own processors that were faster and more efficient than Intel's. This forced Intel to step up its game and release new processors that could keep up with AMD's offerings. Throughout the 2000s and 2010s, Intel and AMD continued to trade blows, with each company releasing new processors and innovations that outpaced the other. One example of this was the introduction of multi-core processors, which allowed computers to perform multiple tasks simultaneously. Intel was the first to introduce these processors, but AMD quickly followed suit with its own multi-core offerings. Despite their fierce competition, Intel and AMD have also collaborated on a number of projects over the years. For example, Intel licensed AMD's 64-bit technology for use in its processors, and the two companies worked together on a joint project called the Common System Interface, which aimed to create a common platform for the development of future processors. Today, the rivalry between Intel and AMD continues to drive innovation in the semiconductor industry, as each company strives to produce faster, more efficient processors that can meet the needs of consumers and businesses. It's fascinating to see how this competition has led to so many technological advancements over the years, and it will be exciting to see what the future holds for these two giants of the industry. The fourth story. Gordon Moore, one of the co-founders of Intel, is credited with being one of the pioneers in the field of computer chip technology. In 1965, he published a paper which became known as Moore's Law. This law predicted that the number of transistors on a chip would double approximately every 18 to 24 months, while the cost per transistor would decrease. This prediction has proven to be incredibly accurate and has had a profound impact on the development of the computer industry. Moore's Law has become a driving force behind the development of ever more powerful and complex computer chips. It has inspired engineers and scientists to continually push the boundaries of what is possible, leading to the development of faster and more efficient computer processors, memory chips, and other electronic components. Over the years, there have been concerns that Moore's Law would eventually reach its limit, as it becomes increasingly difficult to continue to shrink the size of transistors and other components. However, scientists and engineers have continued to find new ways to improve chip technology, and the law remains a guiding principle in the field. Overall, Moore's Law has had a profound impact on the development of the computer industry and has helped to fuel decades of technological innovation. It stands as a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the ability of individuals to make significant contributions to science and technology. As we look to the future, it's clear that the legacy of Intel and Moore's Law will continue to shape the way we work, play, and communicate. The incredible pace of innovation in the technology industry shows no signs of slowing down, and we can be sure that Intel will be at the forefront of these exciting developments. So the next time you fire up your laptop or smartphone, take a moment to appreciate the incredible engineering and scientific breakthroughs that have made it all possible, and remember the formula that started it all, Moore's Law. Thank you,